welcome back, survivors. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Jurassic Park Revolution, the Outcast Dinosaurs DLC. Last episode, we didn't quite get the first hunt successful, but with what I was encountering, I wanted to actually compare the values in that in the RES file between Jurassic Park Revolution and something like Carnivores Plus to see why does the game feel like it's more difficult in a way, like it takes more ammo, etc. I think what I might want to try this episode is sensitivity I might bring down to 0. I'm going to change this to 3DFX Glide. I'm going to try this hunt out. I'm going to see how it goes, because one of the things about it, or about Carnivores, is I believe Direct 3D operates differently than how the game kind of is meant to function. Like, I think the dinosaurs have different sensitivity ranges due to which video software you use. I'm not entirely sure, but that's one thing I was told or kind of commented on in... I can't remember if it's Triplex or another mod where I got a comment where it's like, Direct 3D actually makes the animals seem to be more cowardly and run off more so than in 3DFX Glide. So I'll try that this episode. I'm going to just take the same weapon roster up to the M16, take the first 4 animals. And with leaving Isla Pena, I think we might have better luck on Isla Perdida, because this map doesn't have quite as dense grass and that as the other one did, so it might be easier to see animals from afar, and we'll just try this out. I'm still getting my bearings back with Jurassic Park Revolution, trying it out, getting my footing. We'll see how it all goes, and we'll put to use some more of these higher ranking weapons to show them off as well. But everything looks pretty good, so let's hop in and get to this new hunt. Okay, so we're loaded in here now. Just as per usual, I'm going to take the shotgun out. I might switch back to 3DFX Glide for the series. One thing is, it just really feels weird to me how the ground shifts as you walk. One, 2, I think that was 3. Okay, I kind of wish it would tell me how many shots I'd put into an animal before it goes down, to just get an idea of, like, just ambience of the map. Just to give me that idea of how many shots it is taking to get these animals down without hitting the mortal zone. Just so I can get a frame of reference for, like, is it because I'm missing shots because the animals are further away? Or is it just how the mod kind of is for health values, your weapon damage, stuff like that? I cranked the sensitivity down to 0, as you guys had seen, just so that way we can try getting in closer and test stuff out. But I don't know what it is about Revolution that kind of sits as this weird black sheep almost. It's kind of hard to describe because it looks beautiful as a mod, the weapons are fantastic, the dinosaur roster is good, both in base version, Outcast version. The maps were all fairly well designed. I do think Isla Pena is just a little claustrophobic for like a starting map. And the grass can be a little bit of a trouble, but you can reduce that with the grass patch that was put out. But yeah, I don't know exactly... It seems like it's just such a not talked about mod. I'm not sure why. The only thing I can kind of lean it down to is, again, maybe it's about how it feels to play than some of the others. We'll just keep going about, see what we can come across and find. We still have to get every single animal from the roster, although we did just get the Werosaurus, so... Oh. Oh, that's a Baryonyx. That's actually not what we want quite yet. I mean, granted, if it does prove itself to come after us, we will take it down. You know what? I actually might try for it. Okay, that was a hit on it. Actually, that was a second hit when it was even off screen. Okay, we'll go back to... Or we'll start with using the MBZ, I think this is. But yeah, it's a mystery that I'm not sure why Revolution is, like, this silent, not spoken about too much. It's not that I've heard anything bad about it, it's just that I don't hear it come up that much. Like, when it came to even the Carnivores content I should cover, this wasn't one that a lot of people were leaping up and bringing up. It was just one comment that mentioned it. So I wonder what it is that's got that, like, behind it. I don't know if it's because, like, the point curve is as severe as it is, if the weapons, again, don't quite gel as well as some other Carnivores mods. You guys let me know what your opinions are of Revolution, and if you have any ideas what this sort of, weird place it sits in is. Nope. I also have to remember to turn on the, HUD. Okay, so these guys are pretty close. You know what? I might... Yeah, I kind of lean it might be due to the weapons and how difficult they can be to work with a bit. Like, that might be more accurate to use, but it's still... I kind of feel like the Jurassic Park Revolution weapon roster could fit really well for Jurassic Park Hunter Legends. Or, hang on. Yeah, the Jurassic Park Revolution weapon roster. A lot of its stuff carries over to the Jurassic Park Hunter Legends mod. Oh, I'm messing that up, but just because that mod, with all the endemic stuff and how aggressive things are in the pack hunting, the weapon roster with having the iron sights not quite as easy to work with might make a good fit for something like that. More so than this more hunting aspect that you get with Revolution. I don't know, it is just weird to me. I don't know if it's because it's an Ice Age engine mod as well, or what. I have heard that Carnivores Ice Age had a number of quirks to itself. One thing being, like, a lot of the animals were more cowardly than you really expected them to be. And we kind of have been seeing that in Revolution even so far, too. Like, even dropping the sensitivity down to nothing and switching to 3DFX Glide, which might allow you to get a little closer to the animals, still does have them more skittish than you'd expect. Well, maybe not all of them skittish, but I actually thought that he got me with the leap, but whew. Okay, that is a Deinonychus. You know what I'd kind of like to see done with Deinonychus? Kind of what they did for the Jurassic World Evolution look. Like the more prominent head crest and like the salamander-esque tail, or... Oh, that's just you. Or like these big paddle kind of tail more. I just feel like that's a more unique take on Deinonychus, given Velociraptors of Jurassic Park franchise kind of fit into that same niche role in a way. Because I think the raptors of the original Jurassic Park were more akin to... I'm not sure if it's Utah Raptor, because I thought Utah Raptor had more feathering to it, but more akin to Deinonychus. I may be completely mistaken, I don't know for sure. But yeah, just an idea to give it a little bit more separation than it just looking like a different colored Velociraptor given Jurassic Park's nature. Oh, I scared you off. Yeah, see, like, prime example of a lot of health on these things. Unless you get the Mortal Zone, but, I mean, I should expect the sauropods to be tanky like that. It's just I have to figure out where the Mortal Zone is I should be trying to shoot them at is. It's probably... It might even be the very, like, chest of it. It's just that the wind is... There we go. Okay, so that's that down.
Nice shot.
Now, surprisingly enough, I think the hardest animal to go after so far has actually been the first animal of the mod. The Tenontosaurus. Or Tenonont... God, the pronunciation is escaping me a lot. Tenontosaurus, I think it is. But yeah, even that Baryonyx, like, with the shots that should have been nearby it... Oh, actually, I think there are 2 Baryonyx there.
Okay.
These guys are just more prone to run than actually, like, engage you, and I don't...
Returning to base.
The aggressivity... Yeah, the aggressivity should be a default. So I was really expecting them to be more aggressive and, like, retaliate, but they don't. I know Tormer mentioned when I was going on ModDB page just to try to read comments and that for what people's takes on this mod were. This is planned to eventually get ported into the Modders Engine Edition, but I do think it's something first. Jurassic Park Hunter Legends has a few things to work out first. Yeah, I gotta remember, when you backstep, for whatever reason, they make the backstepping super loud in this game. That's all Carnivores mods actually is. The backstepping is always a really, really loud noise compared to your standard, even, like, forward run. No, what's that? I mean, I guess I could go for another Waharosaurus. I do kind of like this... I'm trying to think of, like, evolutionary-wise, or, like, timeline-wise for them. Because this kind of feels like a ancestor of a Stegosaurus. Or, like, the Stegosaurus we're used to with the big diamond plates on the back. With how these are, like, these more solid, stubbier... plates. He's more like a brickback, I guess. Oh, you know what? I'm going to try... Okay, yeah, get that down.
Nice shot.
Okay, wasn't expecting the, raptors like that, but... a few shots did put them both down. And the second one, it almost was like this has pack tactics, but it could even be just, again, the animals have that timidness that they kind of bunch up into corners of the map.
Okay.
But that's been every animal so far. Oh, but we do got a
Returning to base.
couple here. I think they actually... What the hell was that? It sounded like something was on us, but... I don't think the stomping was ambient sounds. I don't know what the heck that just was. Okay, I think the Baryonyx actually got so scared they went into the water. It's like, I don't think I saw them come back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they went out for a swim.
Returning to base.
Usually if they do that, you can sort of see them swimming off in the distance, but... maybe with how the model is, they just go down low enough that you can't see them out there, but... God, like I don't know what those super heavy footsteps were just then. I don't regard that as being ambient sounds because we hadn't heard anything like that at all. Maybe they were stuck at, like, the edge and ran off? I don't know. I kind of just want to exit here and save what we've got, just because of how last episode went. So I'm going to do that, and we'll take a look at everything in the trophy room. And here we are in the trophy room where we can preview the first 4 animals from the roster, and they do look fantastic. Like, again, Tormer's always been very good with it. It is a little case on certain animals. The closer you get, the worse the textures kind of appear. But you have to admit, from a distance, they look fantastic. Like the Warherosaurus here. Yeah, when you get up close, you can see there's a little bit of pulling and stretching, and you lose some definition. But as you step back, you start seeing a lot more to the dinosaur, and that's really cool, because you're probably going to see that more on hunts than being super up close with it and getting all the very point-blank details. I think that might be how a lot of the textures for Tormer's mods work best, is they weren't designed to be seen super up close, but from a distance like when you're hunting them in-game. And then the trophy room, you can always just step back and get a better look at them. Like the Deinonychus here, he is very close to just like a regular Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. It's just that he's got a bit of a different color scheme to him. But as you get further away and closer in, the eye, it's like the eye gains some detail, actually, because the slit looks more defined from a distance than close up, and I guess it's just because of the contrast of the colors there. But there's that, the Apatosaurus. Oh, look at the detail on the eye. Like, we can't really get close to look at it better than this. But yeah, I do think that's one thing I would kind of like to see. Instead of the heat map for the animals that can be a little hard to read, like, where is the mortal zone exactly? Just back to even a more basic, or just giving a bit more proper redness to the heat zones. Like, I think the Tenontosaurus probably has one of the best and easily red heat zones, because you have that really bright, striking red right on the top of the back there and the underbelly. But it is nice to see this little guy, and again, the color scheme, I think, is right in line with one of the Parasaurolophus from Jurassic Park Hunter Legends Special Edition. I can't remember which one, because there are a lot of Hadrosaurs in, well, there's a lot of dinosaurs, period, in the Special Edition mod. So it's hard to keep track of what they all are. But overall, it is a very nice DLC roster that does completely shake it up a bit. Like, I don't think you have any, well, the Apatosaurus this early on, you don't have a sauropod in Jurassic Park Revolution, I think, until the Camarasaurus, which is either the second to last or third to last dinosaur on that base roster. The little Tenontosaurus I like much better as like a starting animal than, say, the Ouranosaurus was, just because you don't start out with the biggest game. You start with like a nice medium-sizer here, and then your small game are your dangerous little raptor buggers here that, though tag-teamed us, didn't quite make it. But yeah, I am looking forward to covering the rest of the mod. I don't think I'll go to Cosmica next episode. I think I'll go to Sores first. And then next week, we can do all of Cosmic, or a week straight on Isla Cosmica, and see what that has to offer and what it has to hunt with. Because I think the later we get into the Jurassic Park Revolution mods, the more the maps become really interesting to hunt on. If I remember right, the last few maps were some of my favorite Carnivores mod maps. But we'll see those in time. For now, though, we are going to be good to wrap things up here. So let's just try to get a nice... I guess I gotta be from this side. I was going to say, let me see if I could get the other side look at them. But I think if I did that, the Apatosaurus would hide the other guys here. So yeah, we'll end on this screen here. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of Jurassic Park Revolution, Outcast Dinosaurs DLC. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give a like. And if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave in comments right down below. And until I see you in the next video, survivors, please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.